Hello and welcome to round number 2 of the Super Formula IndyCar Series. Today we are here at the historical Daytona International Speedway for the Bud Light Grand Prix at Daytona. Of course, we are only 1 week into the season, so the point standings you see at the top of your screen are the official results for last week's race. But how about we go over those standings anyway? Medic finished in first last week, gaining him 50 points as he held off a hard-charging Busch Brothers fan who gained 40 points, followed by Isaiah Hines at 35, Pokemon 39 with 32, Husky with 30, Retro Racer with 28. Leading us to our back three, Rampage, Donner Mouse, and Genus at 26, 24, and 22 points respectively. Of course, with last week being the SFIS Daytona 250 on the oval, these results don't necessarily speak on any performances they might have today, considering that this will be the Roval version and will be much more trying in terms of technical skill. Anyway, let's get on to this week. The Daytona Roval will be a very interesting track and a very different one compared to last week's race, even though it is still the same facility. The Roval will prioritize high straight line speed and exit grip more than anything, as there are a few points in this track where things can get a little slippy and we might see some guys get caught out. On top of that, with cautions only being flown for incidents involving 2 or more cars, any of those single car spins will be punished severely and they will need a caution to get back into the race or an amazing strategy. We'll have to see how the cautions play out though, as there could be a lot of stragglers with the technical difficulty of this speedway not being comparable to the oval, or it could be a huge battle for the lead or a complete wreckfest. But what I do know is that the chicane here at Daytona International Speedway will get the drivers first. If they do not nail this corner, they could very easily lose this race. We could see a mistake going into here on the last lap, and that's what I'm looking for. The long run to the start-finish line will strengthen any mistake made by any of the drivers, and the fact that they're only lifting off just a little bit means that if they get it just enough wrong, they will be sent flying into a wall that they definitely don't want to crash into. But with all that out of the way, let's get on to qualifying. In P1 we have AMS Medic, followed by Rampage, Hines, Busch Brothers fan, Husky, Outlaw, and to finish off the grid we have Pokemon. In terms of race favorites, the most consistent I saw were Busch Brothers fan and Rampage, so be looking for those drivers to be up towards the front all day long. But without further ado, here is the race you've been waiting for. Medic leads the field to green as they hit the Geico restart zone for the very first time here, as we are go at the Bud Light Grand Prix at Daytona. Of course, with Medic leading the field down into turn 1, Rampage looking to take advantage of his second place spot, hoping to get a slipstring, a little bit of argy-bargy going down into turn 1 there from Hines, but everyone gets through cleanly, no spins or anything. Of course, that's how you always want to start lap 1. Now, you probably just have to buy time here on the infield section until you get to the back straightaway, where you can slipstream past pretty much anyone you want. And if you can't do it, then you can always wait till after the chicane, and if you nail that, you should pretty much be automatic. Rampage with a little bit of a slip up there. Of course, you're going to have to watch your tires, one too many of those, and you could find yourself having to pit 2 laps early, which is definitely what you don't want to do here. Rampage now with a little bit of a slip up. Of course, these drivers still kind of fresh to the car. Of course, this being the first road course of the year, still fresh to road courses as well. And these tires don't get preheated before the race starts. So these guys had to put all their energy into these tires beforehand, and it's not always so easy. Rampage now looking to make the first lead change of the race, as it looks like, oh, they banged tires and he's run wide. I cannot believe it. As now Rampage is going to be in last place as Outlaw gets through, and Medic is down into third. Unbelievable stuff here, as Busch Brothers fan looks like he's going to lead lap 1 with no contest from any other drivers, as the door just kind of opens there as Medic and Rampage fought into turn 1, and now Medic's going to have to claw all those positions back. But more importantly, Rampage is going to have to work his way back up to the field, as now we look at Hines in second place. Of course, these two taking advantage of Medic's mistake and Rampage's mistake earlier, as, oh no, we have a car off in the background. That's the Home Depot machine of Husky. Off in the grass, recovers just fine, but that's a lot of time lost there. We can't be having these mistakes. Only on lap 2 as well, as we get back to Busch Brothers fan in the lead. As we come up to the exit on the infield section, it's also really important to nail this corner as there's a huge run down this straightaway. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hines can get the slipstream and almost make a move, as Busch Brothers fan's obviously setting the fastest lap here on the second lap. On pace for it, sorry. But can Hines make a move on Busch Brothers fan, or is he going to be more focused on his behind? Looks like these guys might just be able to get down single file, as Hines won't have anything done. And everyone will get through cleanly here on lap 2 as opposed to lap 1. Husky still having to make up for his mistake on the infield section. I don't know if he got punted off or what, but we should probably look into that at some point. Rampage trying to make do with Outlaw in the back there. As we're side by side, Medic and Busch Brothers fan into turn 1. And no dice. Medic tries to switch back. Busch Brothers fan is the wiser. Nothing good there. Is there going to be a dive bomb into this corner? No, no dive bomb into the hairpin. Nonetheless, a good attempt there by Medic, but Busch Brothers fan just has the number on him right there. As Rampage sets the fastest lap now, really trying to work his way back up to the field. Now up to 5th from last. Of course, Husky's now up to 6th. He's caught back up with all of the fighting. And these guys are really fighting like it's lap 50 or something when we're only on lap 3. We've got 50 more laps to go. These guys should probably chill out a little bit. Nonetheless, I definitely expect Medic to try and go for the lead here. Maybe control the race a little bit instead of saving fuel or tires. The chicane's going to be a good spot. He might be able to get him before the chicane, take the lead, and get the run. Side by side down the back stretch. Who's going to come out in front? No one knows. Medic, Busch. Busch backs out. Medic takes the lead here on lap 3. What a wonderful move there from Medic. Busch Brothers fan surely is going to want to get back at him, and he might be able to into turn 1, but I think he might be on the back foot. You know, a lot of momentum lost there, and Hines might be able to take advantage of that and steal second place away. So Medic leads lap 3, going on to lap 4 now. And we've still got quite the while here. Busch Brothers fans, with such a long straightaway, is going to send it up the inside to an unsuspecting Medic, and he's going to run him wide and take the lead back. Hines now on Medic's tail. Nothing doing for him as we have some moves going down the background. Some argy-bargy. Outlaw avoids the mess as it looked like Pokemon was trying to send it up the inside of Rampage and Husky. But Hines holding firm in third as Medic tries to take first place away. Kind of almost 2 packs forming here as Medic goes around by himself, almost collects the entire field, but everyone avoids. Great reaction time from everyone there. Very scary moment as Medic is still sliding, and he's gonna be punching himself right now. You can't be making that mistakes if you want to win the race. He had good track position and he's lost all of it. That is extremely rough. You don't want to see those types of mistakes. As now Hines takes over second place. Quite the gap between these two going into the chicane. No dice there. Maybe if he gets a run down into turn 1, he can make a move. As Rampage is now into third. So we've got Busch Brothers fan, Hines, Rampage, Husky, Pokemon, Medic, and Outlaw is your order. Going down onto lap 5, Medic makes a move on the outside of Pokemon. Doesn't work. Tries to go down the inside instead as we're side by side for the lead again. And Hines backs out, kind of bunches up the field. As now Husky, who spun on lap 2, is looking to go around the outside of the hairpin. Of course, Hines takes a defensive line, stays down low, and Husky seems to outbrake himself a little bit and back off. Nothing doing for the rest of the pack just yet, as it looks like Rampage wants to make a move on Husky, but it's just not quite going to work. As Busch Brothers fan runs wide, and now Hines is going to take the lead. Husky might get around Busch Brothers fan as well. Medic's back up through the field as well. Busch Brothers fan's going to make another move as Hines runs wide. Everything's getting a whole bunched up here as Medic makes a little bit of a mistake once again and makes another spin. Maybe struggling for traction that first spin. Maybe he's flat spotted his tires a little bit. And that's not just quite working. As we are almost 3 wide, Busch Brothers fans might lose 2 positions here. Not very nice at all. Did I see 3 wide in the chicane back there? Busch Brothers fan runs wide, and now Outlaw's up to 4th. Good job by him. Hines takes the lead. Husky's running on the outside here at the oval part of this track. And Busch Brothers fan's going to get up to 2nd as Hines might be running away with this one just a little bit here. They're probably going to have to start to work together as it looks like they are. Outlaw is going to push Husky. Husky's going to try and go around the outside of Busch Brothers fan. Busch Brothers fan's not having it though. He's going to send it down the inside. Kind of an offense is the best type of defense there. And nothing is going to work out there. Busch Brothers fan really trying to get this lead back. He probably feels that he's faster than Hines, and he really wants to make this move work. Of course, Hines with the Dr. Pepper number 16 car. Lovely car there. As everyone is kind of going single file through this infield section. Not a lot of moves happening. A few mistakes here and there. Rampage wants to get on the inside of Outlaw, but just can't keep the traction on the inside there. As Hines, a little bit of a tank slapper there, a bit concerning. We've been seeing that a lot with these guys, though. Busch Brothers fan definitely going to have the run, though, and the slipstream. Is he going to go inside or outside? He chooses the outside. Will either of them back out? Will Busch Brothers fan have the run? Yes, he will. Hines will fall in line. Everyone's single file as it looks like Hines runs wide, so does Husky. Of course, race control probably giving those guys warnings. Should be about 3 warnings each before any penalties, but that's definitely the place where if someone's going to get a penalty, it's going to be there. Medic still in the back, not being able to push through, as now it looks like Hines going around the outside of Busch Brothers fans into turn 1 as they cross the line. And Hines will take the lead. Busch Brothers fan backs out. So Hines, your new leader. But Busch Brothers fans probably wants an instant response. And it looks like he's going to send it real close up the inside. They bang together just a little bit. And Busch Brothers fan gets the traction out of the corner. Hines now back to 2nd. Busch Brothers fan takes the lead. These two have been going back and forth for the last few laps. Very entertaining. Husky looks like he wants to get into the mix a little bit as well. Hines with a little bit of a slip up there. They really got to focus. These tires, they degrade quick, and you definitely don't want that to happen. Looks like Hines goes wide. Husky slips up a little bit. Everyone's mixed up. Will Hines be able to get the slipstream? It looks like he's gaining quite hard. Will he think better of it? I believe he will. Of course, we're focusing on Husky as Medic gets into the back of Husky. Just a lot of overspeed there. Very strange. Still single file, though. Drafting, of course, very important. You want to be behind the car that's in front of you. Hines now looking out around the outside. Same move as last time. Will it work twice? Surely Busch Brothers fans going to think twice about it this time. No, same move, same success. Will Busch Brothers fans try what he did last time? Will it stick? No, he won't try anything, as we're going to continue to be single file with only some straightaway passes here. Not too much action so far. Everyone kind of maybe mellowing out after the race start, but Busch Brothers fan doesn't want to mellow out, as he's going to go down the inside, run into the back of Hines. No move able to happen there, as Hines getting his car out, making it almost seem 2 times wider than it actually is. Hines with a little bit of a slip up there on the curb. Kind of dangerous. Busch Brothers fans definitely going to get a run here. I don't know if it's going to be enough, as he's kind of close, not able to get as much overspeed as you'd like to get that pass. Of course, he could be using overtake. No one knows, but it doesn't look like he is deploying any. Rather save that for later in the race. Probably a smart choice, as Hines is going to back out. Probably another smart choice, as these guys maybe calming it down a little bit. Definitely can't blame them, as it looks like we had someone run wide there. Might have been Medic, as he seems a little slower than everyone else. As Rampage is going side by side with Husky. And now Husky's shuffled back behind everyone bar Outlaw, who seems to have made a mistake at some point, as he is way back in the pack if you look at the top right of your screen. Hines maybe looking for a move. Not quite gonna happen as Rampage sends one up the inside of Medic. Will it stick? Yes, it will, as Medic runs wide on the grass and is going to get passed by even more people. Another costly mistake is now Husky looking up the inside of Medic, kind of shuffling him wide a little bit. Medic spins the tires, and he's going to be even farther back in the pack. We just can't have mistakes like that. Not if you want to fight for a win. I have received word that Rampage is on the medium tire, so him being up in third place right now, maybe the mediums are coming into a life of its own. Maybe the softs are falling off a little bit, as it looks like everyone's kind of struggling for grip. Hines going to have a very huge slipstream here going into the chicane here on the backstretch. We'll see if that has any significance or not. Doesn't look like it's going to. He's probably going to be able to make a move into turn one as Husky, Pokemon, and Medic run wide. And Medic collides there with Outlaw. Outlaw is still able to keep the position, but another mistake from Medic nonetheless. Hines and Busch Brothers fan right next to each other. Very, very little separating the two as Hines tries to look towards the outside, but thinks better of it once again. He's made that move work twice as, oh, Husky sends one right through Rampage. Rampage probably not going to appreciate the contact there as they wheel bang. Looks like we had a few cars run wide there as Rampage is shuffled down the order. Looks like he got on the grass, judging by him being on the little offshoot there. Definitely ran wide. Don't want to see that. Still Busch Brothers fans and Hines at the front of this field as Hines chases. Oh! Busch Brothers fan around in front of the pack once again. That's the second time we've seen the leader spin at that portion of the track. Very strange to see as... Oh, Rampage around once again. Probably due to him having grass on his tires. A little slippery there. Of course, the exit of the track being bumpy, and the caution is out for two or more cars being around in quick succession. As now, we're probably going to see pit stops here. Of course, 10 laps in. These cars have been slipping around quite a bit. I'm starting to worry that maybe the tires have gone off and the drivers just don't want to accept it quite yet. But this caution might save them from themselves here, as they won't have to extend more than they need to. So with pit stops on the way, I guess it's best to talk about some strategy here. Now, of course, I'd expect everyone to pit as 10 laps, fresher tires is going to be huge dividends. And I don't expect them to be very low on fuel, but topping off couldn't hurt. Can't really anticipate anyone staying out for track position. It's been quite easy to work your way back up to the field, so long as you're not making a bunch of mistakes. If anyone's going to stay out, I'd expect it to be someone at the back, maybe Outlaw, Rampage. Rampage I know is quick. Of course, he's on the medium tire, so he probably wants to get off of the mediums. So yeah, everyone's going down, but Husky with a bold take there, as he doesn't quite feel pitting yet. I wonder why that is. Of course, I believe he's on the softs. Maybe he's on the mediums. But he doesn't want to pit. Maybe he's waiting for a later caution. Doesn't feel it's quite necessary just yet, as he'll be able to go longer on fuel. So we look at Hines now, taking his pit stop. Going to be a quick and easy stop. Waiting for fuel. He's full and he's out. But it looks like a Medic and Pokemon have not taken any fuel. So they've both jumped Hines, and now Medic and Pokemon are going to be second and third. Husky stayed out, so he's going to be first. Very interesting events taking place here. I don't think Husky's going to be able to stay up front for very long, but we'll have to see, as I believe everyone's on fresh softs now. So as we wait here, I guess it's a good time to talk about our chassis manufacturer, Dallara, and the SF19. So while we wait for the green flag to drop, we will show you a quick message here from Dallara themselves. SF19, unmistakable to players of Gran Turismo 7. Made by Dallara, it has a carbon/aluminum honeycomb structure and is also fitted with a pushrod front and rear suspension with a torsion bar in the front. Coupled with the suspension is also the super slick tires that we see push these cars to the limit every single weekend, as well as the Brembo made brakes. And with only a weight of 670 kilograms or 1,477 pounds, paired with these tires, we should be able to see this car push incredibly fast through the corners to make up for its kind of lackluster straight line speed. Giving its pace in the corners, there aren't many cars that can compare to the SF19 during a lap or an entire race. And that's not even to mention the push-to-pass system, which will help drivers overtake and achieve higher top speeds during those long straightaways. And pairing all of that pace is a 6-speed +1 for reverse semi-automatic paddle shift transmission, helping make these quick, concise shifts very consistent to truly unlock the full pace of this race car. Of course, it's one of our finest cars here in Gran Turismo. It's, drivers voted on it themselves. So we're almost ready for the restart here, just waiting for the drivers to get to the Geico restart zone. Of course, these cars only go 80 miles per hour under caution. Seems very slow. I'm sure it feels slow to them as well. Almost ready here as Husky's going to lead him to the field. We'll see how long he can hold on to it with 10-lap-old tires as we hit the Geico restart zone, and green flag is underway. These cars are supposed to stay half a second out, but we could still see some runs here into turn 1. Who knows? Looks like Pokemon tried to make a move around the outside of Medic. Nothing giving, but that will open the door for Hines to get some positions back, of course. Of course, on board, watching Medic here. As the chaos happens in the background, looks like Busch Brothers fan got in the grass a little bit, kind of concerning. Could damage the suspension, could just make your tires just a little more slippery. Could be a little dewy out there still. Had some rain. This is just a small amount, a little bit of a sprinkle before the race. Medic finally up front again, probably looking to take advantage of that immediately and take the lead away from Husky, who's of course on older tires, and he will take the lead before even getting into the chicane. Of course, he's going to have to watch out for the re-challenge from Husky going into turn 1, but maybe Husky has to watch out for Hines behind. Looks like Busch Brothers fan is slow. Did he make a mistake? It looks like it, as he's lost quite a lot of ground there. So another mistake from Busch Brothers fan, as the mistakes just seem to be piling up from all the drivers. Oh wow, Husky sends it up the inside, runs Medic wide. Medic's on the grass, collides with Husky. Husky's going to take the lead back, and Medic's going to lose 3 positions in the process in one corner. Wow, what an aggressive move there. You got to wonder how fair that is, how legal that is. But it looks like he's going to get away with it with no reprimands, as Hines looking in the inside, looking to the outside, back to the inside. He's going to send one, and he's going to back out of it. No, it looks like, oh, Husky's run wide. He's on the grass, and we've got a spin. Pokemon collects Busch Brothers fan. That's 3 cars around. There's surely going to be a caution. And yes, caution is out. So Busch Brothers fan, Pokemon, and Husky all off track. Husky in a separate incident all by himself. But Busch Brothers fan kind of just caught up as in the crossfire, just a bystander there to Pokemon's spin. So the caution is out. All the cars are going to catch back up to the field. And we've got Hines in the lead now. So very interesting stuff here. Rampage in second, Medic in third, Husky in fourth after his spin. Caution kind of saved him there, as it looks like Outlaw's going to the back of the pack. Is that by choice? Is he letting guys through? Or is that where he was when the caution came out? Very strange. Rampage finally up front once again. Interesting to see what he's going to do. So with the caution being out, only 80 miles an hour, 2 very slow laps. Pit road's going to be open this time. I don't know if anyone's going to pit. You might see Husky kind of give up on his strategy here. You know, hey, I ran 2 laps longer. I can go 2 laps later into the race. Maybe that's the difference between being able to finish the race and being able to not being able to finish the race. Sorry. And he kind of gives up on his experiment and goes, hey, I'm in 4th. Might as well go to the back and take the fresh tires and have 2 lap fresher tires than everyone else and work my way back through the field. But I don't know if that's quite worth it, as we could see another caution. Drivers heat their tires up, of course. Got to keep those tires warm. And it looks like Pokemon will pit again. Probably for fuel, of course. Being in 6th place, you're not losing too much. Only 1 position lost there. Maybe he's trying to switch off the mediums. Maybe he doesn't like them. So of course we'll see what tire Pokemon goes on here. Probably going to give fuel. There's no reason for him not to. As it looks like he's staying on the mediums and he didn't get any fuel. Odd choice there. Swapped to a fresh set of mediums, I guess. Only really lost 1 position at the it only costed him 1. So it works out, I guess. A little bit of an odd choice not to pick up any fuel with it. But maybe he just wants to keep his car light for the moment. Of course, Rampage, he's had quite the day. He's been at the back of the pack, struggling for most of it, but that was mostly due to him being on the mediums while everyone else was on the softs. He's been hanging around, and now he's finally back up front. He was 2nd quickest in practice, right behind Bush Brothers fan. Medic did not participate, I don't believe, in practice, but those 2 did get the most running in practice. So I'd expect them with the most experience here should be more consistent than anyone else. But Bush Brothers fans, it's been having his own issues recently. Rampage has run wide a few times, unable to control his car, maybe locked up a little bit. But other than that, Husky's still with the same fastest lap, as we should be going green this time. Of course, the restart zone is the Geico restart zone. Many of you should know it from NASCAR. Potentially. But Rampage surely wanting to take advantage of being up front for what's more likely been the first time in like 10 laps. So Hines will lead the field to green once again, with Rampage in 2nd, Medic in 3rd, Husky 4th, Bush Brothers fan 5th, Outlaw 6th, and Pokemon 7th. Almost to the Geico restart zone once again. Hopefully we can get through cleaner than we did last time. As Hines will lead the field to green in the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is out once again. And it looks like Rampage is going to be right up Hines' rear, going around the outside. Can he make a move we've seen several times by Hines himself? Can he make it stick? Doesn't look like it. So he won't be able to make anything happen there, but maybe something down into the hairpin? No. Decides better of it. Bush Brothers fans moving up the inside and passing Husky. They're side by side still currently. And he'll complete the move. So Rampage trying to get his way up front. He's been trying to do that all day, just hasn't been able to do it. And he will now work past Hines, getting his opportunity down the backstretch around the turn 1 and turn 2 of the oval version of this track. Rampage getting really close. He's going to dive to the inside. Hines, will he stick? No, he won't. Rampage with a very easy and undefended move there. Just too much slipstream as he runs wide. Hines might be able to respond here, but it's going to be hard, considering you're not going to really have a chance with a run around the outside here. Probably best to back off and wait towards the entrance of turn 1 to make a move. So Rampage will lead a lap for the first time in a while as they'll go side by side down into turn 1. But Hines backs out of it once again, potentially losing his spot here to Busch Brothers fan if he can't hold on to it long enough. They're going to be side by side down into the hairpin. Who will come out the victor? It looks like it's Hines. Will it be? Yes, it will. Timetable stays the same. They're still side by side. And that should do it. Ooh, gets a little loose there on the exit. They'll stay single file. And Hines might be on the back foot. If they fight for long enough, Rampage can just run away with it. But Rampage gets loose, and that's going to open the door back up. Critical mistake there, in my opinion. Rampage is going to have the nice feeling of not having to defend his position going to the chicane. He can actually focus on taking it properly as we go on board with Busch Brothers fan now. Busch Brothers fan and Rampage, the top two during practice, had the most laps. Expect them to go side by side fighting each other. They've been fighting. They fought each other in practice, I'm pretty sure, as well. Can Busch Brothers fan hold it around the outside? We've seen people get pushed, right? But not Rampage. He's not going to do that to him as they bang tires very hard there. Now into the hairpin. Busch Brothers fan's going to take the lead. Husky's going to move up a position as well. Almost two. Now Busch Brothers fan taking control of the race once again, but Rampage doesn't like it. Busch Brothers fan runs wide, and Rampage is going to get the lead back here. Busch Brothers fan with another opportunity to take the lead again. These two are going to be fighting for quite some time, I imagine. Rampage up the inside. We've seen a lot of people back out in that position. Will he fold? No. Busch Brothers fan folds. Very unusual. Usually we've seen the guy on the outside stick it because you get the inside almost immediately. But not that time. It's very reminiscent of what happened going on the first lap where Rampage lost his chance at the lead and sent Medic to the back of the pack as well. Oh, Busch Brothers fan runs really wide onto the grass. Kind of takes a bit of a shortcut there. Could have lost a lot of positions. Oh my goodness! Husky's gone around. Once again, same spot of the track he went around at the beginning of the race on lap 2. Recovers just fine. Back up to Rampage, who seems to be all by himself with no danger in sight. Runs a bit wide there. Is going to hook it back around. Doesn't quite hit the apex like you'd want to. But Husky's got a lot of ground to make up now after that mistake. As the caution comes out, I'm wondering what for. As it looks like we have a missing car. It's Outlaw. Did not finish. DNF. Disconnected. Mechanical failure, it looks like, is what I'm being told. Unfortunately, so we have our first casualty of the race. Outlaw, out of the Bud Light Grand Prix at Daytona. Of course, now we're going to see, once again, more pit stops. Now, we had cars pit on lap 10. We had one car pit, Pokemon, on lap 12, I believe. Will we have any cars pit on lap 18? I wouldn't be surprised if Pokemon does the exact same thing again. I believe Husky is still on those very old tires, so I'd expect him to pit as well. So pit stops coming up here. I only expect to see 2-3 cars, maybe the whole field pits. Just not quite sure of that at the moment in time. I don't know if it makes logistical sense, but they've got a few laps on their tires now, so they might think about it. Looks like Rampage is at least... Looks like he's going. He's quite... No, faking everyone out. Will anyone bite? Husky will go. Okay, so Husky's the only one to pit. Of course, he has the oldest tires of the field, but now he's going to have the freshest. He was already at the back anyway. Might as well. No harm, no foul. Probably got to top up on fuel and get some fresh tires here. Probably softs. The mediums have not been too good so far, I don't think. As most teams have decided on the softs. He only gets up to 80 fuel though. Doesn't go to a full tank. Very odd choice in my opinion. Of course, we'll see how it plays out. Maybe just doesn't want to overwork the tires and get too heavy on fuel. So your order after pit stops is Rampage, Hines, Bush Brothers fans, Medic, Pokemon, Husky, and Outlaw, DNF, Mechanical Failure. Husky still with the fastest lap with a 1:27.4. And we haven't really seen any lap times similar to that from the pack, I don't feel. So that must have been when he was by himself after the spin. A lot of infighting. We're nowhere near halfway through this race yet, and these guys are fighting for every inch. You know, every lap's the last lap here, I guess. I don't know if that's exactly the play. It's definitely not how I'd want it to go if I was in one of these cars. But you kind of have to go with, you know, the flow of traffic, and if everyone's being aggressive, you've got two options: get out the way or be aggressive yourself. So following two kind of relatively quick cautions in terms of separation, not much in between the two, hoping to get some long runs here, let those tires wear. With Husky having the freshest tires now, I expect him to work his way through the field quite nicely. Medic, our pole sitter, in fourth, and he hasn't really been up front like you'd expect him to be. I'm starting to wonder if there might be something wrong with his car, or just hasn't been able to get the run, maybe an alternate strategy. So into the Geico restart zone, we'll have the green flag underway once again. Rampage gets quite the jump on Hines. Hines is not going to be able to do anything going into turn one, as we're going to see almost 3 wide behind Bush Brothers fans down the inside, kind of trying to defend his position. And I believe everyone holds still, bar Pokemon and Medic going at it for a little bit there. The Medic lost a position as Bush Brothers fans trying to hold on to taking second place away from Hines. Not the best restart from Hines there, as we see Rampage get quite the jump. Husky not made up any positions, maybe playing the patient game, waiting for a mistake, kind of expecting some roughhousing going on. Ooh, very wide there for Pokemon. We have not seen much of him today as well. Kind of been relegated towards the back 2 or 3. Bush Brothers fan down the inside of Rampage. Kind of get blocked off a little bit. Kind of ruin the run. He's going to send it anyway. He's going to have to back out though. He thinks wiser, but almost runs very wide there. Is able to recover and not just cut straight through the grass. Very close there. Now with his momentum killed, Medic's going to have a chance to pull alongside, but not quite. Not quite. Momentum gets ruined. Medic on the outside once again. Can he make it stick? No, as they are all bunched up there, and someone's been run wide. It's Hines. Hines is now in last place. That's not something you want to see, especially if you're a Hines fan or a fan of Dr. Pepper. That's not what you want. As Busch Brothers fan taking charge here, trying to take the lead away. Rampage not having any of it, but he's probably going to have a go again here. And he's going to punt him wide a little bit there. Get loose. Rampage is off. Busch Brothers has two wheels in the grass, and guess who that opens the door for? Medic. Medic takes the lead now, finally up front once again, and it's Pokemon up front as well. So we've seen almost a complete inversion of what the running order was. Now it's Medic, Pokemon, Husky, then Hines, Rampage, and Busch Brothers fan, who of course had the biggest issue there as he got completely pushed off course. Or sorry, Rampage got completely pushed off course. Side by side, Pokemon and Husky. Still side by side. Who's going to get the better run? I think Pokemon might have it. Husky's going to get left alone by himself on that outside, but AMS Medic is going to pull away if these guys keep fighting as they are. They need to start working together to close that gap, as it looks like they are. But Husky is still just by himself. 4 cars all lined up working together. Now that's the type of drafting and teamwork you like to see there. A little bit of contact there as Pokemon just absolutely sends it, almost completely T-bones Medic, and that's going to shuffle him almost all the way back. Not going to be happy about that. Just a completely classless move there. Busch Brothers fan and Medic. Oh, Medic almost payback, like sends it right into Pokemon himself, and that's going to catch out Busch Brothers fan. Innocent bystander once again. You hate to see it. Rampage probably frustrated. I feel like, oh, Husky off by himself in the grass. Maybe he had some contact as well. Oh, Pokemon's in the grass as well. We could see a caution here. Those were kind of close together. Not exactly spins. But everyone just got bunched up. I think everyone got frustrated with one another, as yes, there will be a caution. Just a lot of frustration, it looked like there. You just don't want to see that. It's just so many incidents side by side by side. Pokemon T-boned Medic. Then Medic returned the favor and caught Busch Brothers fan in the process. Then Husky runs wide. Then Pokemon runs wide. And those two might have been connected as well. Pokemon was just caught up in everything there. He was finally up front and he just couldn't cut it seemed like. So if we have any takers here, that would put Husky on the back foot once again in terms of tire life. So I'm sure Husky wouldn't like to see that. So we'll see what everyone decides here. I don't think Husky was second in the running order, but he seems to be doing his own thing. Will there be any takers? Nope, we've got one. Is it Pokemon? No, yes it is. It's Pokemon. Pokemon's going into the pits. Only 69 fuel. I wonder what his thought process is. So once again, just the back marker. Whoever's in the back, going into pits, taking tires and fuel. Might as well if you're already back there. They're not exactly limited to tires. Each team can take as many tires as they want to any event. As well as much fuel as they think they'll need. But Medic holding the lead very surprisingly. He kind of got shuffled. He was at the front, shuffled back, and I guess with Busch Brothers fan getting pushed off by his move, he was in front of Husky as well. Made his way up to the front. We didn't exactly see it. Pokemon seemed to be the instigator all through that infield section, as the drivers just couldn't keep it together. Of course, everyone being so bunched up, that's just back-to-back-to-back cautions, which you hate to see, as Medic's still in first place, which is kind of surprising considering all the chaos that happened, and he was one of them involved. He got shuffled all the way back. Haven't really seen a stable leader yet today, and I'm wondering if we ever will with the amount of cautions and chaos we've been having. A mostly Honda field today. I believe we have one Toyota in attendance, and that I believe is Rampage, the Brazilian, if I recall correctly. So Medic leads the field to green as they all get separated and to their half-second gaps. "30 laps to go." At what point do you expect these drivers to ramp up even more than they already are? I don't know if they can. Kind of seems like they're all driving at 100% right now. So we're going to watch Hines at the restart, see if he can get a good enough jump here as Medic takes off. Green, 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 and Hines doesn't quite look like he's going to have enough of a run, but there is quite a gap between those two and the rest. But Rampage is going to close it up very quickly, braking as late as possible with the space he had. As will be side by side, Husky and Pokemon. And we've got a bit of a spinner there. Was that Rampage? Yes, it was. So Rampage, as we were talking about, the only Toyota in the field, spins again from third. That's very unfortunate. Just another simple mistake there. And you know, Hines and Medic might be able to just pull away, and you know, if we can get some cars to check out, then I don't see how we're gonna have many cautions after that. If they can get spaced out, as we see Pokemon and Bush Brothers fans side by side, and this could be another incident very well right here. We've seen Pokemon involved in quite a few. He's the one who brought out the last caution as well. Side by side into the chicane. Who's gonna give in? No one. Pokemon gives him a little tap. Probably not very happy. He's probably gonna fight for that position still. Just couldn't hold it around the outside of the chicane. Looks like they're bump drafting a little bit there to get back up with the lead cars. The lead cars could see this and decide to work together as well, but I doubt it. Of course, drafting is always very important around Daytona, as the leaders are side by side into turn one. Hines backs out of it, but who's not backing out? Husky. Husky sends one down the inside of Pokemon. A little bit of a wheel bang there, but they make it out just okay. Hines maybe down into the hairpin. No. Maybe down to the second hairpin, trying to wait for a better run. Who knows? Kind of a little loose there from Hines, though. Probably not the best run, maybe waiting for the chicane. See, someone always backs out in the chicane, and it's kind of just whoever's overtaking. It's just you move or we wreck, I reckon, is how these drivers feel. It looks like Husky had a little bit of a moment. See, he lost all his positions clearly. He was a little slow there. Maybe he ran wide, got on the grass a little bit. Alright, field stays green. He'll make those positions back up surely. Medic still leading, holding his position very strong. Definitely a very formidable driver. But will he hold it past this chicane? Who knows? No dice. Hines doesn't feel like the move. Probably waiting towards turn one. Maybe his more preferential spot for a move. Seen a lot of moves down into turn one. Probably more so than anywhere else. It's kind of hard to get a move done side by side into the chicane. Usually leads with someone off the track, and I don't think either driver wants to take the risk of being that one. Side by side now. Down into turn one. They cross the start-finish line. Ooh, Medic gains back a little bit. Who's going to break later? Looks like Medic. Oh, Pokemon runs wide as well. He's going to lose almost all his positions. Husky's going to catch up with the rest of the pack, as you see. on your screen, Medic still leading. Hines has not had his number today. Just isn't able to get around him. Medic doing very, very well. So we see Medic, followed by Hines, Bush Brothers fan, and Rampage. Of course, we talked about Bush Brothers fan and Rampage pre-race as the guys to beat. But it might just be Medic if he keeps up this form as he is pulling away. Might be Bush Brothers fan on the offensive and Hines on the defensive instead of Hines on the offensive this time. Very interesting. Bush Brothers fans going to go for a move here. Is someone going to back out or are they going to crash? Who knows? Fortunately enough for Bush Brothers fan, Hines gives way. Clean, concise move on the straightaway. Everyone makes it to the chicane. Okay. Looks like someone ran a little wide there. I think that was Rampage and Pokemon who kind of got together there in the chicane. Husky finally fully caught back up. As you see, most of the guys who fall back, we've seen it all day, they catch right back up with all of the fighting going on in the pack. Oh, looks like we're going to have a huge move by Rampage, making up a position. Husky making up a position as well if he can make it stick. Yes, he can. Husky makes the move. Everyone falling single file now into the infield section. Not a lot of moves happening here, is what I've noticed. You think that there'd be more moves happening in the infield section? It seems like more mistakes than anything else. So Bush Brothers fan in an interesting position. There's a closer gap to the car behind than the car in front. Of course, Medic's going to be punching a very big hole in the air for Bush Brothers fan. He's been very aggressive into the chicane as well, so we should watch out for a move. Side by side, Medic gives way. Medic, oh shoot, oh, Medic runs a little wide there. Might have lost some momentum. Can Rampage take advantage? I'm not sure. Medic might be caught up in his own battle. They are catching, though. Pokemon on the outside, kind of off by himself. Medic trying to get around Bush Brothers fans for the lead. Side by side, down into turn one. Oh, Rampage makes it 3 wide for a second. Oh, Rampage, Medic run wide. Bush Brothers keeps his lead. Now going into the hairpin. Will Medic make a move? Yes, he will. Up the inside. Bush Brothers fan goes wide. Medic takes the lead. Rampage in third. Pokemon drops back down to 5th as Hines takes 4th. Husky at 6th, still trying to make up ground. Husky going around the outside of Pokemon. They collide. Pokemon goes off track. So does Husky. That should be a caution. Will we see one or will it stay green? They collected it quite quickly. And yes, the caution will come out. So another caution after an unfortunate series of events. Once again in the infield section, once again involving Pokemon. What action we just had there, though. Husky and Pokemon collide in the back of the pack. Medic holds his lead, and Bush Brothers fan and Rampage really want to chase him down. Now, I will say Medic qualified in first, so he's fastest over a single lap. Bush Brothers fan and Rampage had the most running and had the fastest 2 laps in practice. So, of course, it's no surprise to see these 3 up front and center. Medic having almost a resurgence in form, as earlier in the race he was kind of mired in the back, or maybe he was just waiting. That's almost, I think, the 4th caution in quick succession. As tempers are starting to flare, people are getting more bold with their moves. Will anyone pit? Oh, we've got two takers. As... Oh, I believe Medic's DNF'd. He's gone out from the lead. Our leader has gone. Under caution. Claiming it was too hot in the car, decided to retire. Rampage and Hines pit for, I'm assuming, both tires and fuel. Yes, Hines doesn't take fuel, it looks like, and gets ahead of Rampage. But wow. Medic out of the race, down to only 5 cars. That's 2 casualties now, of course, with Outlaw having a similar incident. I think something more mechanical, but they seem to be heat related. Car was overheating potentially, is what I've heard. Got to be very careful. If the car can't cool down enough, of course, the side pods having the cooling inlet, something gets in there, it could be race over, and I think it was. So now Bush Brothers fan inherits the lead, followed by Husky, Pokemon, Hines, and Rampage, the back 2. So now we get to see Husky and Bush Brothers fan go at it. I haven't seen much of that today, I don't feel. So as the sun comes down, tempers start to flare up here as we have Medic and Outlaw gone. And that's huge for championship implications because Medic was the championship leader. He won last week. And who was in second? Bush Brothers fan. So Bush Brothers fan set up with a wonderful opportunity here to take the lead by a good margin, as I don't know how many points Medic's going to get. I guess he'd be classified in 6th. Anyway, time for a commercial break. We'll be right back after this.